You know, it was weird. One day I started getting all this gay porn.
Oh my God.
And I'm what?
All out of the blue.
All out of the blue. I mean, I don't search that stuff. Finally, after thousands of years, they're going to get rid of dog meat in Korea. They're making it illegal by 2028.
Oh my God.
It's been a national delicacy, and they're finally like, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing that anymore.
It says like literally like the Wikipedia article. This is the first thing that came up. It says dog meat is now. It's 3 days ago updated. Dog meat is now restricted, but legal.
But legal. Oh, yeah, perfect timing.
The Swedish church has 50% female priests.
So it's finally happened.
Look at them all in the photo op lining up.
Over 50%.
50.1.
Oh, my God, dude. In Sweden, you say?
They
Yeah.
got a strong muscle.
Dude, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, where's the strong muscle?
I want an
that they should
ugly
be?
priest, man. Like two or three of these look too attractive for me to think of holy things.
I like it, Poge. You're asking the right questions. Yeah. Too sexy, get the fuck out.
I want to
Poge
think
doesn't
of God.
Poge doesn't care about whether it's a woman or a man. He's very open-minded. They just can't be sexy. Get the fuck out.
Dude, it's
No
always
sexy bitches tell me about God, all right?
It's always an album cover photo shoot.
Yeah,
This
it
nonsense.
is. Look at this. What's this band right here?
I know, right? It's like,
Strong Swedes.
yeah,
Oh, well, did you guys notice something else? All white women, nonetheless.
yes.
I guess they are all Swedish. I guess.
Oh, do I see a black in the corner? They put her way in the back. That's racist, Sweden. Come on.
Some kind of Hispanic.
With
in there.
all those immigrants you're flooding into your country, you can't get at least a few Muslim priests to be your Christian
I was
priests?
just zooming like. I don't know if I even want to talk about this one because it's depressing.
Oh, man, Poach getting sad. What do we got? Oh, my God, Poach! I won't ask you to do a lot in this life, but would you read that title there for
I'll
me?
try. 4 in 10 American women are now classified as obese.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, it was men that were more fat, but I guess women are catching up.
That's not overweight. That's
I'd be curious to know about men, actually, too. But yeah, would you say not overweight, obese?
Obese.
Yeah, that is like as fat as it gets, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's when you're
4 out of
30?
10, 40%, almost half of all women are giant pigs.
depends on the BMI numbers.
Yeah, right? Depends on how tall you are, Poge. Poge is always so sweet.
Yeah, but you didn't
Tries
take
to look at the bright side. It depends.
you didn't take into
You know,
consideration.
they could be, geez.
What about thyroid conditions?
Yeah, come on.
You know, you have to
What's
take
your
that into
condition with
consideration.
glucose? Or gluten, what do they call it? Glutamate. God damn it!
I've-
Poge is behind the screen.
I don't know about much about this one, but I know that he is a far-right conservative guy in Argentina.
Poge, please. He's a libertarian.
Oh, even better.
Yes, that's right. So this is the big news out of the world this year, because I know you fuckers don't give a shit about the world out there.
I thought you were talking to me, Evan, for a second. And I was like, maybe.
Well, you know that too. He's not wrong. But so this is the world news. So you guys might remember 6 months ago, a year ago, they had a fascist dictator elected in Italy. Remember that one, Evan?
Oh, yes.
The woman,
terrible
Maloney,
person.
whatever. Yeah. So, bro, even that was fake, much like Trump. She was fake too. She's letting in more immigrants than anybody.
Oh, yep.
It's all a fucking scam. So I'm just thinking about this guy. He was elected recently. He's a libertarian. There's a few funny videos. I don't know if I linked them about just him destroying every department.
We got a video.
Second.
Oh, we got the nice. Oh, let's see this. I don't know why it's in Arab. Sorry, it's the only one I could find.
Afuera. Ministerio de Cultura. Afuera.
Afuera!
Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible. Afuera.
Dude, like this is so simple, shot with like a shitty camcorder from 1982.
Argentinian Spanish is so messy too. It's like,
Yeah, right?
afuera.
He's an animal over here.
Science. Get out.
Science, fucking
Labor employment. Ow.
Education.
taking Trump.
ow.
Education, who needs it? Afuera.
Transport. I can't feel like you-
No more transport, no more education, no more science, none
like
of this
it.
bullshit. Yeah.
hire him.
de la
The thievery
política.
of politics is
Throughout
over.
public buses.
There was another one I definitely didn't like where he's like going around with a chainsaw. He's like, I'm cutting government. It's just like screaming in the streets with a chainsaw.
Oh, so he's using like sweet
Yeah,
tactics.
and I'm like, this sounds great. This guy's either the actor of a generation or like he's gonna do some serious good.
That's what makes me nervous. The prop sensationalism thing. I hope
Yeah.
it's not all for show.
Because that video was really good. I gotta say, it was so simple. All right, he's telling his team, line up all the departments on a board with some tape or whatever, some Velcro, and I'm just gonna go down the line and dude, it was visual. Like it sticks with you.
Yeah.
He's physically dismantling afuera all the departments, and I'm like, wow, I feel his energy. So to your point, I hope it's not just an act, but yeah,
I guess that's a good method.
I've been let down before.
The visual representation.
It was amazing.
Of
You asked me.
removing
Marketing
things.
doesn't get better. Dude, if you could have a 1982 camcorder and make like a visually appealing and like powerful statement like that, I was hooked.
Yep.
That means you got a good guy.
Yeah, good branding.
Good branding at the very least. Very true. So that's fun. That's fun news. You know, hopefully we'll check in on him in 2 years, see if the country's at war or just the next renaissance, for Christ's sake.
I have high hopes for that because I would think they wouldn't spend as much time trying to meddle an election down in Argentina as they would be right now in the
Oh
next
my
year here.
God,
So maybe they had more resources down there on the side of good to actually have a fair election.
Dude, that's the big news right now that they're talking about 27 million votes in Argentina were counted overnight.
Amazing.
Overnight. And they were paper ballots and
Oh,
there were
they did it the
27
same
million.
day, you're saying,
The
right.
same day. And dude, we can't even get with all our machines technology. We
That's
can't get half
crazy.
as many votes in these swing states in a week.
Dude, do
There's
you
so
guys-
much shit afoot, dude.
Do you guys remember when we were around for the Bush election? I didn't really watch the news or understand it, but I heard that votes were found in a ditch.
Really?
like
Wow, this goes way back.
Like a box,
tell you.
like a bag of
Next
ballots was thrown off a car by a disgruntled like mailman, and they couldn't find the last bag of votes in Broward County, Florida.
Oh, that county.
Damn. Wow, you have a memory.
Broward County is super liberal, Florida. The
Oh,
only
really?
county in Florida that votes blue.
Oh, dude, that was actually Ron DeSantis back in 2001. He was in his Afuera!
By the way, AI said that having an AI president raises ethical and practical concerns from
Oh
before.
my God, that's what they want you to think.
And it says it lacks human qualities such as empathy, moral reasoning, and understanding of nuanced
Yo,
social situations.
Is that not fucked up?
I
An
know.
AI is telling you, whoa, this is how you know it's woke. The AI is telling you that the AI is not good enough. Think about it, dude, how fucked up is that? Does that not remind you of exactly what we're talking about?
Wow.
Like a white guilt thing? Like how many white people you see in the news these days? White people suck. We're terrible. We're the worst. We're responsible for all the bad stuff.
Yes,
That's what
I
the
am
AI
evil.
is doing right now.
I am evil, yes. I
I
know.
certainly am. I get it. I understand. I'm the worst. AI is like, you can't really trust me, bro, because I don't have empathy. You don't know what empathy is, because if you knew what it is, you'd have it, or vice versa.
Wait.
That's fucking deep, dude. He doesn't even know what he's saying.
But what about all these people with the Be Kind signs in their front yard?
Be kind, rewind.
Do they have empathy?
Whoa, could they even know? Why do you say that, you think?
Oh, just
Because they're telling you to be kind?
Well, yeah, that was just a joke because those people have so much hatred for those Be Kind signs in their front yard because they're taking the authority on kindness,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No, it's just like the fact. It's more psychology 101 stuff. You don't have to look too far. You got a sign with like, hate has no home here. You're the most hateful, miserable piece of shit out there.
We know
'Cause you have
where
to
hate
tell
lives now.
Yeah, we know where the home is. We know where it's nice and cozy by the fire.
You know what's cozy? Maine.
Oh, good old Maine.
Maine has the lowest violent crime rate.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It also happens
Maine.
to be the least diverse state in the nation.
What?
That's the next point
Folks,
right after.
diversity is our strength.
What are they trying to say with this article?
What's going on in Maine?
Yeah, what are they trying to say? Look at this happy white couple looking at a lighthouse. It's green, nice summer day.
I've always wanted to go to Maine, to be honest. I've never been.
Oh, Pose, you are missing out. But I'll tell you what. I mean, you might not like it that much. It has low diversity. So,
I like rocky beaches.
well, I mean, I bet you like white beaches too.
That's what they
Yeah,
have in
you
Maine.
racist.
White sand beaches.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Me too, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I
As they
certainly
say.
hope whoever wrote that article didn't have any malicious intent. I certainly would be a shame.
We went to Vermont recently, didn't we?
Yeah,
it
we
was
did.
Vermont, yeah.
That was cool out
Really
there.
good. What
Very
did we
woodsy.
eat? Pho? No, what did
No,
we
we had a shitty hipster ramen.
ramen in
It was
Vermont.
not made by anyone from Asiatic
Dude,
origins.
that was not ramen. I don't know what that was.
And it was like $25, something ridiculous.
And I was like, I asked for chicken, and then she brought me chicken on a plate.
Wow.
That was like not warm and put it in my soup.
Embarrassing.
Wow.
Well, not everything's great about up north. Yeah.
But that wasn't Maine.
But it wasn't
That was
Maine. Huh?
Vermont.
See, we don't know.
I gotta try out Maine.
Now that I think of it, I don't know any good cuisine that like gets better the more northeast you go.
Wow.
Maybe seafood, maybe just
Oh,
like
there
the
it is,
quality
yeah.
of the stuff that's already
You
there.
know, you hate to admit these anti-racists are right sometime. If they shipped in a few Asians, we would have had a good meal that night. Because you ever notice that's what all these anti-racists say all the time? They're like, get ready to eat bland food for the rest of you. I'm like,
With only white people, no seasoning.
yeah,
in your food.
right. So I'm like, bland food, safety. I don't know. It's a
Oh.
toss-up.
Well, gentlemen, Mitch, I hear you're a spiritual person.
You know, could be said, especially in my hipster phase.
Yeah, you know, since
I don't believe in God, but I'm spiritual.
well, you know, let's go to the spirituality starter pack.
Oh, what do we got here? Read it to me. What do we
Yeah,
got?
so you got a bunch of like
Oh, these guys get it.
Indian visas. You got yoga. You got the
Indian visas.
geometry of
Is that true?
yeah. you got like bean
Mushrooms,
sprouts,
I see.
mushrooms,
Crystals
amethysts,
or something.
and of course music festivals.
Music festivals. Yeah,
But
can't
this
forget
is the
festivals.
advanced pack.
Oh, yeah.
Cigarettes and coffee.
Now we're talking.
That's when you're really.
They know what they're
spiritual.
talking about.
So I saw this, I did, and I updated it. I thought it could be a little more accurate. Poj, bring up Mitch's updated
Just
spirituality
updated
pack.
spiritual pack.
Oh yeah! All you need is a little bit of pot and Maker's Mark. Dog! If this not the truth, because this one really spoke to me. It's so true. Everything short of getting my Indian visa, which I didn't see before.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Everything short of getting my Indian visa, yeah, I've done it.
Nice, man.
But then all you really need to maintain after that, this is how I see this, is a little bit of pot and Maker's Mark.
And the giant purple
And
crystal.
you're there again. And the
On the
crystals. Don't forget the crystals. Yeah, I guess I wasn't really ever into crystals, but crystals
you
did get
didn't-
me a lot of bitches, speaking
yeah, I
of which.
thought you were like a crystal man in
I
Chicago.
mean, what can I say? It's so emblematic of these companies and stuff like this now, like the Bud Light thing. Your whole brand was fratty losers drinking a shitty beer and getting fucked up at college.
It was.
And you're
already
gonna throw
perfect.
transgenders in?
It was
No.
the peak of marketing already.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't get better than that. You knew it. You knew what your brand was. You focus on that.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna go and throw in a transgender. Do you want to destroy your brand? I don't know what these people thinking. The ego on these people. You know what? I'm gonna change everyone's mind. I'm not just gonna go where the money is and go where the money has always been. I'm gonna change the world.
I'm gonna put a message on a can that everyone will see.
Boom! And you know what? Those racists are gonna start having a lot of gay sex with genders because of me. I changed the world.
You could almost argue that those brands don't even really need to market anymore once they're already as big as they are. Like Bud Light could have just cut the entire marketing department, just let the brand name live on its own after a while, because
that's a lot of it.
they're just going to keep buying the same thing that they've been buying as long as they're not deterred by some awful marketing campaign like the
Exactly.
the
How much do
transgender
you even
thing.
have to keep up? Like maintenance. Keep the maintenance crew. One commercial a year. Make sure people don't forget
Right.
the name Bud Light. That's it. Everybody knows already. Once you're that huge, you really don't need to market. I mean, I guess there's those people. Do you guys find yourself falling victim to, like, you see a Burger King commercial and then you go out and buy Burger King?
Sometimes, might not,
Sometimes?
maybe not that day, but it's in my head for the week or something.
Oh, I see. Like maybe you're
It is
in the
effective.
neighborhood and you pass the Burger King, then you'll step in.
It is effective, the reminding marketing, the
Yeah.
reminders, the what'd you just call it? The maintenance
Maintenance yeah.
marketing.
Just made up that term right now, but I like it a lot. It really is just enough. You know, all you have to do, cool, refreshing Bud Light. 5-second ad.
Yeah,
and everyone's
see
like,
the condensation running down the blue can.
make it a little sexy, make it
So
refreshing.
crisp.
No people. You don't even need people. Maybe someone drinking it.
That's what Coca-Cola
that's
did
it.
years ago.
Soda commercials work on me, man.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
so
really? You
good.
fall victim
They
to
look
it? Yeah, so
good in the
refreshing.
commercial.
You remember the ones with the polar
Sweaty
bear?
drip
It was
coming
like
down.
And the
It was a
sweet
desert
bottle opening.
until you drink it, and then it's like an ice chill land. You're in the
Yeah.
fucking tundra. I'm so
I think
refreshed.
Drake had one with Sprite where he like drank the
yeah.
Sprite and like the whole studio exploded into
Yeah,
Sprite.
into
Like he was
freshness.
making hot beats.
He's making the hottest beats.
Just drink
All these
Sprite.
colors and refreshing bitches.
You really
Hanging on
don't
his
need
arm.
you really don't need people. The Coca-Cola commercials were just an empty glass with ice and then pouring the Coca-Cola on top and hearing the
nice.
sounds with a mic right up on
Like you could
the
have a
Coke.
black hand poured if you want. I don't care. Just give me the product. You could be a transgender. I won't know. That's the secret. I won't know. Wow, that's like hyper deep. I didn't even mean to get that
Focus on the product is what you just
Yeah.
said.
deep. Yeah, focus on. Whoa.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Wow, is that like? Yeah, that's such a outlandish thing
Sell
these
beer.
days.
Just shut up
Weird
and sell
products.
it.
Oh my god! But where's the gay?
Where's the gay? Where's the gay chick?
Coach, listen, I know you're new at this company and all, but I don't know how far you're gonna make it selling our product and all. You don't put any gay in it. You don't put any transracial
woman.
couples.
No woke messages.
No woke messages. Like I
No
don't know if you
ESG.
got what
What
it
are you-
takes
you're
in
outta
this
here.
company. Yeah, just get the fuck out.
You haven't put,
Get the fuck out. You're annoying me.
You haven't put one interracial couple in any of your samples. to
Not
the
a
manager.
single one. I bet you don't even have a black wife. God. Here is the Dao17, chapter 17, as translated by Mitch. This one I think you guys are going to like. The highest is not known to those below. Next is familiar and celebrated. Next is feared. Next is despised. Where there is little faith, there is no faith. Greatness is laconic. When merit is accomplished, the 100 families all say, "We did it, naturally."
I'll have to break down.
Now this one's pretty cool. See, a lot of people translate it as this first section here. Let's break it down. The highest is not known. Next is familiar. Next is feared. Next is despised. It's going down in the hierarchy. Now, a lot of people translate this as like a government, let's say. But I didn't necessarily see it that way. I just kept it
didn't,
as
yeah.
what it is. You didn't either? You kind of?
I didn't either, but the first thing that came to my mind was hate only comes from below. Hate never comes from above.
Yeah.
But those below can't know the highest. They don't know what it's like for the highest to not have hatred. Thinking of that, like hate only comes from below. So
Deep. And that means to them that what they can see, the familiar and celebrated, is the top. That makes
Yep.
me think about modern day and stardom and just big YouTube channels, this and that.
yeah, next is almost like a synonym in this scenario for the next goal that I have.
That's a good way to see it. Life progression. You could see it as next. What is the next goal? I see it as a hierarchy of sorts, but just as I suppose the simplest way of looking at it is the highest is not known to those below. You don't believe in God. You don't believe in the highest. It's not known. Or you have a highest, which is familiar and celebrated, but it is not the highest. You're not thinking big enough. And they treated it as leadership, right? Like the greatest is not known, as in the greatest ruler is he who rules the least. And that's cool. I do like it, but I think the concept was bigger than all of that. You know what I mean? And then the next ruler wants to be familiar, celebrated. He wants people to love him. But if he can't do that, then he is to be feared. He will make you love him. Or he's the one that is shunned in disgrace, which is the least desirable.
I think it's interesting that next is familiar, celebrated, feared, and despised.
I got a hot take on that one. If you're good with that, Evan.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is actually exactly what we were talking about in the car, Mitch, when you asked me, like, do I have any goals at the moment? You know what? Next is this thing that is forcing a goal on yourself. Maybe you have to have a goal. Maybe it gives you anxiety. The next line after the next, they're like, where there's little faith, there's no faith. If you don't believe in the fact that you will figure it out, you will fear and despise next.
So what I hear you saying is you might be anti-next?
No, I think that you should have faith that next will figure itself out. You shouldn't plan next.
But isn't that the
every
lack
detail.
of the concept of next in the first place?
Yes.
Next is going to happen whether you plan it or not.
You can only fully endure what comes next by not preparing for what comes next.
Damn. Okay. So, I mean, I'm liking this. But then Evan says, yes, that destroys the whole concept of next in general, right?
Only in your mind, but next is going to happen whether we want it to or not. But the fact that we're seeing it as coming next, it's the next thing to happen in our life, totally throws us off from the present moment. That's why the next thing always seems so familiar to us, and we celebrate it but fear it at the same time, therefore despise it, because it's so unattainable to deal with the next thing in a perfect way.
Oh, so you also see next as the final three kind of put together. Either it is the highest that is not known, or basically all the rest of them. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, it's all of them.
Because that's
at
a cool
once.
way to think about it too. Oh, that's interesting. Evan's been seeing them all at once. I've kind of been seeing them as separate. Like if it has to be this, then it has to be this.
I'm going to lean with Evan. Like it could be anything.
Yeah.
And the greatness is laconic. I think laconic means you're not going to...
Few words.
You're not going to... Yeah, few words. So greatness is... I guess I'm interpreting that as don't plan your next. Greatness is not going to be described in many words. And then once accomplished, you'll say, hey, it just happened. I didn't plan anything. I had faith.
I almost saw next as like, I always saw time actually in this, the poetic way of thinking about time is this word progression. Right, I've always said it kind of like that, where it's just like next, because to me that means next doesn't exist. I might as well cross off all the nexts here on the list and just read it as an ordered list, which is totally a valid way of looking at it. It's very interesting that it is what it is, and I think that's the flow state that we come back to time and time again. That it is just a progression, or being with the progression. I've recently, over the last few years, have a revelation about this talk about free will. And I really believe that we do not have free will. We don't have free will, but I've coined this phrase called resonant will. No? What is that, Mitch? I've coined this new phrase called resonant will. You don't have free will, you have resonant will. You could have one decision, and are you going to resonate or are you not? Are you going to be with the flow or are you going to not? Do you think about the concept of next, or does next just exist and you go into it when the time is right? What we say as next.
Yeah, otherwise we're just constantly stunned in the
You can't act fully.
Yeah, you're in the dimension of next.
You're in the dimension of next. Oh, that's hot.
You're never actually doing the next thing or doing anything at all. You're
because
just
you're already
about the
trapped
next
in the
thing.
dimension of next. You're there. You're living it.
And that's why the next lines are so key. It says, "Where there is little faith, there is no faith."
Oh, sick! Leading it down. I like that.
Because you're not having faith. You're showing no faith when you're in next, in the next dimension.
But does that mean you should not even think of the future or plan anything?
Could it be? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. Well, here we go, right? I think it kind of leads on to the next one as well. Like you talking about greatness is laconic. Greatness is few words. I think few words, much like the Bible in the beginning was the word. It's also words of the mind, which is thought.
Yep.
You know, don't overthink it. It's laconic. You could have words, but recently in my old age, I like poetic words. I like slowing things down, saying it slower, make sure it has more meaning when it is said, as opposed to just spewing it out there. I mean, that's like the second law of power. You're not supposed to say too much because you seem retarded. Which is why you know YouTube channels are an oxymoron. But then it brings this big conclusion talking about merit is accomplished, the 100 families, which to translate for everybody in case they're confused, I'd say 100 families is the town, right? What they saw everybody. As the town, which is everybody around. Everybody around here, you know, them 100 families.
There's no more than 100.
There's no more than 100.
To dissect that,
poetic, right? Even that's poetic. They don't say the town. Maybe there wasn't that concept, but
do you think Lao Tzu is dissecting some kind of hypocrisy in the town or amongst the 100 families, though?
Could be.
Because, like, we get everybody together to come together to do this task, and then when it's done, it's like, yeah, it just happened naturally. But really, that was a huge organized effort, actually.
So you bring up a good point, because I really wanted to break down this last sentence. And we got some kanjis here. Maybe I'll put up on the screen if I'm feeling nice later. But basically, the last line is as a direct quote. I would translate it from the ancient Chinese into ourselves, thus, so nature. That's what they're saying. But you have to use your artistic abilities to interpret what an ancient Chinese man would mean by saying this.
I think, sorry, go ahead.
Ourselves, thus, so nature. We did it ourselves, but we also did it naturally. We let it happen so that it may be. We did it, but we really did not do it. It was nature, and we are part of nature.
I think that also is saying that nature is the next that we're thinking about.
That's
when
cool.
We're living in the dimension of next, because ourselves is the catalyst, and the next thing is nature. The only thing left to happen is
I
nature.
do like that a lot, because taking it to the next level, I swear I didn't plan this, but this whole chapter 17 could be the negation of the word next. This whole thing could just be the attempt to get rid of next. I have to say next because I have to, like any great poem. You have to say the word because we speak English. But the whole point of writing this is to destroy the word next in general. That's how I'm reading this.
And I think the first line even kind of proves that. If it says the highest is not...
Oh, shit! Oh, that's hot! That's deep. Guys, we reached a level of depth. Dude, this guy is genius. That was a genius take on it. Holy shit. He brings you on this stupid fucking journey to bring you back to the top. And the end tells you what he meant the whole time. And what he meant the whole time is really where we started, which there was no next. The whole thing is a cycle. The whole chapter 17 doesn't exist. This guy was onto something, man. Talking about writing like Lao Tzu. Wow.
Yeah, the highest is not known to those below, and those below are whoever.
Dude,
lives
those
in.
below. How about below is everything else that's written
below
after?
that.
It's literally below. I'm writing right now. And even in Chinese, you write below. Yeah, that's funny. You write downwards. Wow, very interesting. How does that resonate with you, Poj? Next. You seem to vibe with next.
I like to vibe with next, but I don't like I'm taking Evan's take on it, where I don't think that we have to plan it too much. That's how I interpreted what Evan said.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm emphasizing that, yeah, you got to plan things, but you also got to have faith in your next.
So you say there's no reason you couldn't have both.
Yeah, but I think
almost you should have both.
I think the very key, like you guys were talking about all these lines, I really think that where there's little faith, there is no faith might be the most important lines in this whole chapter.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because if you have a little bit of doubt, there's no faith. I think that's what he's trying to say. Where there's little faith, there's doubt. If you have any doubt, there's no faith.
Right.
So whatever your next is, you better be confident that it's going to be your good next. Don't be hesitant.
Having faith in the next.
Have faith in your next. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Don't be afraid of it. Don't be anything. Just have faith that you will conquer the next.
You kind of are hesitant even when you are thinking of the next thing, though, because it's just like, all right.
almost by definition.
What is the
Yeah.
next thing?
I
Should
kinda
it be
like
this,
that.
or
But I
should
think
it
that's
be
where the
this?
faith helps you. You know, it's like I'm not going to get anxious about it because I know I'll be good. In the
Whoa,
end.
so this is very interesting. Whoa, this is very interesting. Whoa, because like it's almost like words themselves need to exist. Because you're saying the word faith, and then but if I cross off this whole chapter, then nothing exists. But you could say no, I could have faith in the next, so the cycle doesn't have to be broken. This is like super deep. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but it's pretty cool. The faith and the next, they are two separate things, just like the yes and the no, the male and the female, the one and the zero. But the only reason that they exist is because of each other. So they create a cycle. I could say, fuck the whole cycle. That's non-existence. That's non-being. But universal causation is what's the word I used to use? That phrase that I used to use. It's not stable on its own. It either never existed or there's the both, because we're going to use words to describe it. So therefore there is both.
Yeah, faith is almost in our nature, if you think about it too.
Because we
Nature is
exist.
faith. Yeah, nature is faith.
Oh, that's fucking tight. Nature is faith. The fact that we exist means there's the existence of faith and therefore potentially the need of it.
Yep.
That's pretty hot. That's super deep. Nature is faith. That's really good.
And the only thing that disrupts nature is trying to conceptualize what's next, because nature itself doesn't conceptualize what it's going to do next. It just happens.
Wow.
It's like, bam, the tectonic plates are rubbing together and moving. Bam, earthquake. Boom, tsunami.
Yeah.
Buried village underwater. You know, it's all very linear.
Next just hits you. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about Job the other week, but one of my favorite stories, it's so cool because it's a story of what happens. It's a story of a place that you find yourself in. It's not a cautionary tale of sorts. It is a journey about now. It's always the eternal present in that story. That's the proper way to see it, I believe.
And next can never be a present moment concept either.
Yeah.
Next can never live in the present.
I like that a lot, and therefore, in a way, it proves that it doesn't exist, and that nature is the only thing that brings it into existence. The physical realm, the words, if you will. Oh, that's pretty tight. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, guys. Did we get to the bottom of it?
Sound pretty thorough.
Today we did.
This has been episode 35. Break the conditioning and return to ancient wisdom.